Deeper into the Grave Hoard, where we'll find more information on exactly what Horizon... Actually, it's not called Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the game. The Zero Dawn. It's all about the Zero Dawn and how that stopped the robots from, eating the entire world, as you do.
And the horizon of that Zero Dawn.
Yes, presumably this is the horizon of that. I actually don't know why this game is called Horizon.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be real with you here. The Zero Dawn part is obvious. The Horizon part, less so. And yeah, this is just, there's still a lot of lore. And although I'd like to play it, I also don't want it to turn into like that one episode of The Witness where I had like speeded up 3 times because we had a 10-minute conversation where we watched clouds move around.
Yes.
And it's like, some of the, I was trying to get into some of the lore, but I'm going to be real with you. We did a stream recently where I was doing some more of the side quests and trying to get more into like the like actually trying to use the damn bow and everything as sort of like an episode 5.5, and it's just like, man, I am just terrible at that game, which is why we're just going to use the pre-recorded footage I already got.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a frustrating
frustrating stuck experience. In the wall over and over.
We tried to play the game right. We tried to do it better.
Look, Horizon is a good game. There's a lot of good stuff here, and I knew I was doing it a disservice the way I was doing it, which is why I wanted to at least like, okay, I got a save near the Grave Hoard. Let's do a couple side quests, maybe check out like the cauldrons or whatever, and I couldn't even find the cauldrons.
Yeah, and it occurs to me,
this game is so antithetical to how I play video games. I'm sorry. It's like mixing oil and water, which is why it's like we're still going to see it to the end. Trust me on that one, but no, it's turning into the sorry cast part 2.
Yeah, we're gonna force this emulsion. It may mix like oil and water, but you know what? It's gonna be a tasty little vinaigrette here. So
yeah, I mean we're gonna throw an egg yolk in there, and that egg yolk is gonna be called me editing down everything, so you don't see me fighting the same boss for an hour at a time.
Yeah.
As I do with a lot of these series.
Get a nice aioli going. Okay, I think we're done with the metaphor.
Aioli is emulsification using garlic, if I'm not wrong.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think it's
it's egg yolk for mayonnaise. Aioli is garlic.
Okay, I did not know that.
I of course have made my own mayonnaise several times. It's very good.
It is quite good.
It does not taste like the sort of store-bought mayonnaise you get. It is a very different flavor. A lot more sour, but still quite good.
Yeah.
You ever do any sort of emulsification stuff?
I've made that before. Yeah, I haven't like done it probably to the extent that you have, but no, I've experimented with it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't get it quite as thick as I wanted to, at least last time I made it, but it was still quite good. I mean, the entire thing is that it's a very, very gradual process where you have to like whisk together drops of the oil at a time, and that's easy to screw up. It's sort of like a meringue.
Yeah. I'm surprised that like kind of homemade stuff tastes so different from like just from what you get at the store. Not necessarily because it's so difficult or so hard, chemical processes need to be perfect. It's more like, well, there's a certain thing that consumers expect. When you go to get mayonnaise, you're not doing the recipe for mayonnaise. You're doing, I want this to taste like Hellmann's or Miracle Whip or something. I've got this expectation.
I mean, Miracle Whip is kind of like a different thing almost. It's called salad cream for good reason. But like a Hellmann's is going to be different from what you make at home. Pudding is different, is very different. Cakes are very different when you make them yourself. Yeah. There's a lot of items that just have a very clear like distinction between the two. That is not the direction that I want to be grabbing on. They look almost the exact same, to be fair.
What's interesting is just like, the homemade stuff is like, it's you find out all the choices that were made in making it the way that it is at the store. Like you have these certain ratios that you have to abide by absolutely in order to make it like that store-bought stuff. But it's like you don't necessarily want to do that because you get a lot of different flavor profiles, a lot of different textures.
The thing is, it's not the stuff you make at home is not necessarily better, regardless of what like Faulty Towers would have you believe regarding salad cream versus homemade mayonnaise. Mm-hmm. This is a reference that I just made.
I have not seen Faulty Towers yet.
You're not seeing that episode of Faulty Towers with the kid that wants the salad? Anyway, from this show that came out well before I was even born, and I'm older than most of the audience. Yeah. Anyway, they played it a lot on television. I was unemployed for a long time. Anyway, no, I think it all comes down to preference. Like it is different. I would not turn down. I would not. I think that there's a lot of stuff like a boxed cake. I think tastes pretty damn good, and I've made a lot of homemade cakes, let me tell you.
Yeah, a great example of this, I think, is probably ramen noodles, because it's like, okay, technically, yeah, it's not high quality food or anything to get like a bowl of ramen noodles, but it's pretty damn good.
Get your cup noodles.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much a perfect product if you just are aware that, okay, this is obviously like a salty processed mess of noodles that you microwave.
It's good stuff though. Yo, yeah. I will of course, probably like you're trying to get to here, defend ramen noodles to death.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the death, but I mean, like, certainly to like, getting some heart problems with all that sodium. But.
Yeah, I suppose so. So that's why it's just like it's not an everyday food.
Yeah. Unlike these.
I told you my preferred way of making ramen, right?
No. You should probably. That's a good.
Barely cover the noodles with water, so then basically instead of turning into a soup, it basically turns into just noodles.
Turns into like.
And then
just
stir an egg into it while it's still hot. So it's almost sort of like a carbonara, except extraordinarily cheaper.
Are you doing this in like the microwave, or are you doing this in like a pan?
Oh, I do it in a pan.
Okay, yeah.
I suppose, yeah. If that is true. Where it's just like I'm one of those insane monsters that doesn't make it with. I also heat up the oven for Hot Pockets.
Yeah, you got to preheat that. You can't just put them in there.
Yo, they do taste way better if you do that, though. It's just.
Well, that's true for. Just
why are you? Why am I dressing up Hot Pockets? Why am I dressing up ramen?
That's funny. I was at.
Yo, but like it is good though.
I was at a friend's place, and one of his roommates was like, well, he was cooking like just a standard naan bread that you get in a box, and he was doing this thing, and somebody else was.
Oh God, I love the naan bread you get in a box.
Oh yeah.
I've been having a ton of that lately with a lot of hummus.
Yeah, that's great. And if you get like the Indian clarified butter not aloo, that's ghee, that's delicious. Like it really goes well together. But yeah, so he's doing that, and then another. His roommate is just cooking at the same time after that, and just kind of his is popping up, and I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. What did you do differently? And he's like, oh, this is actually just a crunch wrap from Taco Bell.
That's yeah, kind of though. I do like the crunch wraps from Taco Bell. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't like the normal crunch wrap from Taco Bell because I don't really like ground beef. Mm-hmm. But they had a version of the crunch wrap called the 7-layer crunch wrap, which was bussin' as all hell. Unfortunately, they got rid of it. And now they've even gotten rid of the 7-layer burrito, so I haven't even been to Taco Bell in a long time.
I haven't been.
But Christ, let's be honest here. Flatbread stuff is good, period.
It is, yeah. And, I mean, that's just... Mexican
and if
cuisine.
You're getting the cheap stuff, it might be somewhat interchangeable.
Yeah, some of the stuff is like Mexican cuisine. Obviously, we're not talking Taco Bell is not Mexican cuisine. It's not fine.
Tex-Mex.
Yes. But it's the kind of thing where flatbread and some sauce, you're in business. So you get some cheese on there, you get some meat
and flatbread, and also crunchy fried bread.
Yeah. Oh my God, are we just reinventing the Jim Gaffigan routine from 20 years ago?
I think we might actually be doing the I did mention Hot Pockets. Yeah. Oh no.
Caliente.
To be fair, I do actually like Jim Gaffigan.
Yes.
We turned it from the I'm Sorry cast into the Jim Gafficast.
Yeah, we actually had, like, our take one was I was just insulting everyone. And so we're trying to get away
we're
from
kind
that.
of lukewarm on the game,
Yes.
in the same way as Hot Pocket that you just got on.
Yeah, so I was insulting the game.
I was going to say an oven. What is wrong with me?
So what I was doing is I was insulting the game, and then I was insulting you for being bad at the game, then I was insulting the audience for trying to encourage you to be good at the game and giving you bad advice. And it's just kind of
It was
like,
not bad advice. That's just how open world games are. They're hard to kind of navigate in. And besides, it's just like by the end of that, I was getting super salty myself.
Yeah, so some
I don't know where I'm going. And then you just keep telling me that everything's too high level.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, like, let's be honest here. Horizon, it's like, it definitely is a very good game, but it just, it ain't doing it for me. That's it. That's really 100% of what I gotta say.
Yep.
There's clearly a lot of quality stuff and cool stuff going on here and everything. But yeah,
Now, can I ask?
Still gonna see it to the end.
Let me ask a dumb question as the fresh eyes here.
Fresh eyes.
I wonder if the skill floor for this that would have made it really good for you, or at least enjoyable on its own terms for you, is you should have been playing more shooters on console. You know?
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, the last shooter that I played before this that wasn't on PC, I guess I played like Control and stuff, but that's using a mouse and keyboard is a very different experience.
Yeah.
Was like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And that game came out.
And it's like, maybe you could have done this on the PC.
And I was not good at it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, and honestly, I don't know if I ever actually went through all of the levels in GoldenEye. I definitely played a lot of it, and I did a good job. Like, I got that, the second level, the facility.
Did you ever call one of those things a Kopesh? By the way, hey, the second boss, it's another Deathbringer.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Except this one can walk around and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not entirely sure if the Cultists created that. That's supposed to be the Horus unit. Silence mentioned it earlier. Yeah. That I guess was the thing that was replicating robots back during the Great Robot War of 2065, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that might just be the last one that it created, and they fixed it up a little bit, or they got it to create more, which is frightening. Even though it's just like without the whole eating all biomass in the universe, it's like it's not going to be super effective at doing it.
Yeah.
Still, having more than one of these things would be bad.
Oh, I thought of another dumb question. Is it possible that you should have been using the HUD more, like, to do, like, advanced targeting maneuvers? Well, you definitely...
So that apparently knocks down the scaffolding, by the way.
Yeah. You don't...
Anyway.
By the way...
yeah, I probably should, but I'm going to be honest. I think that a lot of, like, the obvious weak points to hit are obvious. Like, it's the things sticking up off of the top of the robot on the upper left. Yeah. Or it's the things that are glowing right now when it gets overheated.
And, yeah. So, and I mean, I think we talked about this on previously. It's like kind of... It's the kind of thing where you're doing pretty well on this, like, targeting them, but this is, like... This is not your first try.
You need to do better than that.
Yeah.
I can't take 20 seconds to aim at a single target.
Yeah.
By the way, you're not supposed to fall off the scaffolding there. I don't know how I survived. You're supposed to either go all the way to the left or the right of the scaffolding areas, and there's a place to rappel down.
Okay.
And, the stuff that you're initially standing on is just supposed to be for a couple initial shots against the Deathbringer. I just somehow got lucky and managed to survive that. Not like... in super good condition, but still, I'm pretty sure the developers intended that to be an instant death if you fall off of it.
And now, can I ask, because this is the winning run, you figured that out eventually, like during the hour that you were doing this, right? And
well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I was doing that really regularly.
And
it's
then you just made a
basically
mistake.
I was a little bit too aggressive at that point in time, but I managed to survive anyway, and that made it into the winning run.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, everybody is. You're not seeing all of my terrible failed attempts when I can barely aim at all. It's like you can't fight this guy in melee. Remember that. It's got like this big huge flamethrower deal that has a bigger hitbox than it actually looks like. So It's a crossbow or nothing, basically.
This kind of reminds me of Star Fox, actually, this specific enemy.
Because it's a big robot?
Well, it's because it's a big robot with weak points and stuff. I think there were several Star Fox bosses that were like this. I could be misremembering.
There are several games that I can name that have big robots with weak points.
Well, I just mean the specific design of this one.
Yeah, for some reason the robots, war robots from the past, I guess when they weren't making antelopes or whatever, they were making a lot of spiders. Because like between Deathbringer and the Corruptors, there's a very clear through line. Although I guess Corruptors are more, I don't know, like scorpions because they got the tail. Mm-hmm. Arthropods in general.
Yeah.
If you want to create a death robot, you make an arthropod. If you want to create a... What the hell were the antelopes supposed to do? Whatever, they're here. It's unquestionable. I guess they are kind of like beasts of burden, but is that really more effective than just making a car?
Okay, I do want to point out this is a really cool boss, though. Like, legitimately, it's just, I love the design on it, and it really does seem like...
you'll enjoy it as it continues to be the boss.
Is that true? Is it all going to be the Deathbringer?
That's sort of a common thing in games like this, where it's like they don't... You don't really get, like, big... It's a sort of thing in shooters as well, where it's like we have the helicopter boss.
Yeah.
And that's the first boss you fight in the game. It's the last boss you fight in the game, and it's also the other two bosses you fight in the game.
I do feel like Half-Life 2 did a great job of that, to be honest, where they continually...
I do not remember.
Okay, because, I mean, obviously the helicopters, like, shooting them with the rocket launcher was, like, a big part of the game. But it's like you eventually get to the point where you can kind of kill them in 4, and so you have to deal with 4 to 6 helicopters at the same time while you're fighting these other bosses and stuff. It's just a nice little progression, as I remember it. It's been several years.
Yeah, I don't... I played that game like when it came out, and I do not... I gotta go back to it. It's supposed to be a classic. So yeah, by the way, one of the things I did realize is it's very easy to set things on fire. Mm-hmm. You don't have to aim. You just have to aim at the... If you can hit the broadside of a barn, which I still have trouble doing occasionally, you can at least like get the damage over time going.
Yeah.
And when you destroy every individual part, you get like the big heat arrays up there, which are at least large enough that I can manage.
Yeah, and by the way, the thing I think you would
that took a while. Let's just say that right now. That one took a while.
The thing I think you would still like about Half-Life 2, like today, if you played it, would be you just like find that the design really hasn't aged in terms of like just, you know, maybe quality of life isn't good, but like in terms of, and like obviously the engine has some issues, but like just in terms of like
I think the real thing that I would probably be that I would probably roll my eyes at is they love those physics puzzles. And it's just like, yes, it was cool at the time, but as of right now, you know, it's like, oh yeah, let's put the bricks on the seesaw.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's a little bit silly.
It's like, we get it. Uh-huh. Like it's still a good game, but you know, that sort of thing, I think it's far in the future where that's just such a standard deal.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you would really like the way they do like the level design and how you kind of feel like you get shuttled through, but it really is so well tested that it's not really a trick or anything. You don't get lost.
I swear to God, if this is one, it is one dude missing yet again. Why do they make me do this? Hey, I got a headshot. Cool, perfect way to end that boss fight.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it is one of those things where if you wanted to get really, really good at this, you kind of would have to just grill it, you know, for several hours a day.
Yeah.
And just take this game as an opportunity to get good at this genre. But it's like that would take hundreds of hours possibly.
Well, and especially, you know, if I want to actually like truly get good, you got to remember that it's like this was the standard for many shooters for years, the Halos and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I guess to be passable, but I mean, you know, there's plenty of times that you've seen the learning process of me doing video game stuff, most recently with like Jump Off the Bridge and everything, where it's like, oh, it's such a weird thing when I'm learning a video game because like, okay, you get like the initial controls, but then for some reason in my mind, what happens is that like my brain maps jump to a button that I press, and that means that I will just sometimes press the wrong button with the assumption that I'm using the jump button or something.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to do jump, but I like mess that. That is like weirdly common. I had a huge issue doing that in Celeste. I remember especially. You know, that sort of like high octane action type of games.
Yeah.
Dead Cells, when I was initially trying, I would just like, you know, like I want to parry, and then instead I swing my weapon because for some reason the parry button wasn't mapped correctly in my brain.
Yeah, no, I think.
And it's like I can imagine that trying to get used to something where you're doing very specific aiming like this is just going to be maddening to try and work through.
Well, yeah, you almost have to treat it like a grind and find a game that you really love that you're going to do it. Like, you'd be willing to play for 200 hours or something. And it's like...
There is also that feeling, though, of just like, yeah, but couldn't I also just, you know, play a shooter with like a keyboard and mouse?
Well, maybe play some Binding of Isaac at that time. You know, you could play 200 hours.
Well, yes, that's look. Or more recently, I've been looking at some stuff with Risk of Rain 2. Mm-hmm. People were telling me about some of the updates, and I'm like, maybe I could go back that game a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hate everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking of the process of learning a game.
yeah, and I think that is part of it. Is just like you remember when I was playing Dark Souls, like I was terrible at that game, but B, I really liked playing it. Like it was genuinely like fun for me to play it. I just didn't want to play it on your schedule. Like you wanted me to get good right away.
Yeah, you should have been good. You should have been better at it.
I should have been better at it.
I remember that like my schedule is that I'm not going to get myself cursed and then complain about it for 3 hours.
I was really mad about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I told you that it's just like, you know, that's supposed to be like almost a secret thing that they originally planned to like start off a quest to get yourself cured of it. Instead, it's just like, well, just get 5,000 souls, and it still took you several hours.
Well, I'm very bad at video games. I am casting stones, but I am in a glass house. And
yes, it's true. You are in Billy Joel's hit album, Glass Houses.
That's the good news.
I mean, like I am too, but I was just talking about how bad I am at trying to learn a new skill in any way. But
we're throwing glass stones in glass houses,
and it's shattering into more glass.
Yeah,
creating a larger problem than if we just did nothing. Such is life.
And this time, the entire Shadow Carja military will be after you.
Yo, I've killed so many cultists in this game. I've killed 10 times more cultists than I have any robo antelope.
No.
By the way, would have liked if there was less like kill cultist stuff going.
Yeah. Honestly, and I don't think every game, obviously, you know, especially like a game where you're overcoming. Like, you don't have to have every game have a pacifism option, obviously, but it's like it does get a little bit frustrating when you have to kill like thousands of.
Well, there were supposed to be stealth options, but you know.
Yeah, but
it's not. That's not quite the same thing. Stealth is not the same thing as pacifist.
Yes. Or just having the choice to do, you know, go through the game in a way that is
so what am I supposed to do? Wait
minimal.
Around?
I'm sure you have other matters to attend to.
I don't know. Could I have walked past the cultists earlier, or did I have to fight them all? I'm not entirely sure.
Actually, that's a good question, because I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I'm criticizing the game.
But then again, it's like you've seen like when I was approaching the first Deathbringer fight, for example, a couple episodes ago, that it's like I just ran past everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are places you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the truth of the matter.
So maybe you're just...
Oh boy, these stairs do not seem OSHA compliant. Nope, not at all.
Yeah. You should file a complaint.
It's a good thing I have fast travel.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to jump down and figure out the way to jump down from everything. So, oh boy. All right, you know, you wanted side quest, baby. Well, we can't. The Silence has to come up with whatever his plan is first, so we gotta go do the Nora side quest. You remember the Nora, the people that shunned and hated Aloy for her entire life up to a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That you know,
when she became the chosen one for their entire people.
Yeah, when she became the chosen one. Yeah, well, now she's got to go help them out to kill time, basically. come up a little bit more. I mean, like, Aloy is a character who, has spent her entire life being completely unable to talk to anybody except for her foster dad, hated, attacked by the only people around and everything like that. And now she's off realizing all the secrets of the old world and everything, and she's just kind of like generically spunky teenager.
You're hurt.
By the way, I gotta say, every time there's a cutscene, it makes me think of like the Ghost of Tsushima playthrough. It's just like, okay, it's the same exact angles. You know what I mean? Like on the conversation.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of things. It's just like there's the same angles. There's the same like killing and then looting corpses. There's the same like grabbing little bags off the ground. There's the same like just endless amounts of just little things to do. Clearing out bandit camps was a thing. I mean, it was just Mongol camps in Ghost of Tsushima. Finding the towers is a classic, like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed type of thing to uncover the map. The crafting system, the skill system, the fast travel, the quests and side quests, and the way there's repeatables. There's many comparisons.
Yeah, like
and it's just like Ghost of Tsushima is that's just the game I played. I think that you would notice even more if you played more of those sort of games.
It's funny to think like.
Also, one of the reasons why I was just like, I don't know if I really feel like doing a whole bunch of the side quests, because I did like basically every side quest in Ghost of Tsushima. So I was just like, let's see like the main quest in this one. If I'm really getting into it, I'm bad at the video game. I will go back and do more.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
But I mean, as you know, I'm bad at the video game.
Yep, unfortunately.
Make that clear.
I mean, you are bad at the video game. Let's talk about that.
I am very. Go back to the episode. Go back to the Bastcast. If you want to go look at me trying to fight the first of thousands of cultists that I fight.
Yeah.
Going on after the ambush.
Yeah, this is also another very Ghost of Tsushima thing where it's just like, you go to an area and then you look at 3 objects and then you go to the next area. These games have a very specific rhythm to them.
Yeah.
Which, I found very interesting, Ghost of Tsushima, but I was just like, that satiates me for a while.
Yeah, and I guess maybe one of the frustration, maybe something you could identify as a problem with the game. I don't want to necessarily say that, but it's like, it does seem like the amount of skill you need as a base level, as a baseline, as a floor to play this is pretty.
That's my own damn fault.
Okay.
Remember, shooters as a genre have been like one of the most popular things on the consoles
and
for
it's not really
years
fair.
Since GoldenEye.
It's not really fair to expect this game to fill in all.
Yeah, don't use me as a baseline.
Okay.
Baseline.
That's fair.
I know I was on the head and they're giving me baseline. Karashi. Anyway.
Hey, remember this obstacle course?
Well, I can go Tsushima. A lot of them. I didn't show off each one of them, but there were like, the shrines that you could go to that would give you super charms.
Oh, I meant this one was from the specific one where you were doing the trial, I thought, right?
No, I think this is different.
It is? Okay, it looked exactly the same to me, but obviously I'm not I'm not looking at it closely.
True. All right, well, what do we got? Ooh, a fox.
Fox.
Oh, come on.
I
wanted those sweet fox furs. I'm so sick of killing machines, even though I haven't killed that many machines. I killed 1 machine in this entire episode, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no. I killed like a couple antelopes coming over here. No, she's dead. She's gonna die.
And the game is over.
Pick up the spear.
This is the last episode. Ooh.
If that was me, I would have missed. Halo, you should know your strengths, and that's not archery.
You're lucky.
I do like how every
haven't
single
died.
cutscene when they load
One
in, it's
heartbeat
just like
more, and that
all the
sauce
characters
will
like
torn
drop
you
onto the
apart.
ground. It only lasts for like
If I
one
had
frame,
one, I would
but it's
kill
very
myself.
I don't know. I guess doing the editing, it's very noticeable to me.
So you're
Now, is
watching
Sona the girl that you
Well, ask me to
meet
find
when
you.
you're doing the
Doesn't help the
initiation, or is this the girl you
Yes,
meet
later.
at the bunk?
I saw him kill a corrupted machine
Hey,
himself.
I don't know.
Okay.
But he
I'm
was-
pretty sure the bunk girl died.
Try
Yeah,
to
that's what
need
I.
strength,
Oh,
not
see, I thought it
sentiment.
was the opposite. Okay.
I've tracked some of the killers who struck the Proving. I crave vengeance. Do you?
You have
Up
no
until a
idea.
couple days ago,
Show
these
me
people
then.
shunned and hated.
Lend me your strength.
Yes.
By the way,
Follow.
Has it only been a couple days? Like, do we have a progression of time, or is it just in?
The killers.
certainly the Proving Ground events happened within recent memories, considering that we're going after the killers explicitly as part of revenge against what happened there.
It wasn't like 5 years ago. It was like 6 days ago at most.
I know of them.
It's very hard to say. I don't know
Okay.
how they measure time here.
Okay.
But either way, it's just like compared to 16 years.
But yeah,
I just feel like we're jumping to like help out these guys a lot quicker than I would expect.
yeah.
Grab that stuff. Run out of the medicinal everything so quickly.
Well, in fairness, I mean, the problem with them is that they were shunning her, and so if they stopped shunning her, maybe she's like, okay, fine.
I guess she is.
And I guess they
Well,
won't.
also, the whole Proving Ground massacre did basically directly lead to her dad dying,
Yeah.
which he wouldn't have done if they, weren't such assholes in the first place.
Huh?
Putting them in a very obvious. Also, she did like a lot of life-threatening stunts trying to win it in the first place.
Yeah.
On my signal, they'll attack.
Because she had to. She was being shunned. She had to play extra. She had to be extra good.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I would help out the Nora tribe at this point in time if I was able. I just kind of be like,
They used to block
you know what, those assholes can deal with their own stuff.
Yeah.
So we put fire to it and then
Boom.
let us begin.
Whoa, wait.
Frankly, any tribe that would do
Let's not
that to a
rush.
person, especially me.
Give me some time to
Yeah.
make an
I mean, we've
approach.
killed thousands of
Stand up alerting
cultists.
them.
Well, these are
Open
people
fire.
whose.
Speaking of which,
Let's see what
okay, yeah, I could probably jump down there, but I got like the fire arrows are pretty, especially since I buffed up like the fire effect and everything. They're pretty good. So even though like I'm bad at it, I'm far enough away that I don't think they can hit me
It
very
means
easily.
you only have to get 1 or 2 shots, and then the fire will do a lot of the rest.
Yeah, that was weird. I think for whatever reason the exploding green barrels don't like to load in their textures, so I get very confused at what they're at because they're much brighter than they should be. I'm just like, what are these like weird Lego cylinders? All right, there we are, and there we go. And fire does at least kill a cultist, even though I also tend to be on fire most of the time. Look, it's fine. It's
You need to
fine.
get like the fire-resistant tunic.
I actually think I might be wearing the fire-resistant
Oh.
tunic right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure at one point in time I get something that gives me like huge fire resistance, and I barely take any damage from it because machines do, as we get a little bit later into the game, start to just like throw that as an effect on you.
Yeah.
And when I'm going melee, it helps. Ow! Hey, when could you do that? Yeah, maybe it's a corruption thing. Usually they only have like a big flashlight. Here we are. So yeah, also the other thing is that this quest is supposed to be for like level 7, and I'm currently like level 26.
Wow. So
If you're wondering why I can just stand still and take all of these shots no problem at all.
this seems like this would be prohibitively difficult if you were just doing this at level 7.
Well, as it is, I don't even have to pay attention to people hitting me because they do so little damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess those guys are going down.
This
But
must-
yeah, that's basically the only reason why I'm able to actually do, able to actually get some archery
Yeah.
practice.
So
for
this is the side quest. So we heard your pleas, and we've added side quest to this.
I mean, well, you literally, like Silence will not tell you what the plan is until you complete this.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though I'm once again 20 levels higher than I should be for it.
That reminds me of my...
They're just like, nah, dude, you gotta go help out the Nora people again. Get revenge, because I care a lot about revenge.
This reminds me of the first time I played WoW, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I did every quest that I could possibly pick up in every single area, and I didn't know how to switch gear or anything, so I ended up really high level with terrible gear, and then I was in these quests that were alternately completely trivial or completely ridiculously difficult, and I thought that was just how you're supposed to play. You're just supposed to, you're supposed to spend like 5 minutes trying to kill a single enemy. That's normal. You just have to be a little bit more stealthy. You can't just go in and use like, I'm level 10. I'm not supposed to be that powerful.
Yeah, that is kind of like true for some of these sort of, at least with the way I'm playing it in this game.
Yeah, and
it's not dissimilar to your experience.
The only difference is I'm not posting this publicly under a pseudonym as...
Yeah, well, whatever, man. Look, I said I would play this video game. I'm gonna play this video game. That is non-negotiable.
Yeah, and I think we all respect the effort.
Much like Persona 5, the effort is respected, but also
slightly
not enough to be beneficial.
Yeah, like
in any way.
We all appreciate the effort, and then we're all like slightly.
Please stop doing it though. And I'm like, no.
Just go back to Binding of Isaac, please.
Look, man, Binding of Isaac is a good game. You still, even though you're waiting for the update, you can still like finish up a couple of the things. Like when you were talking about doing Slay the Spire. Why not check out some Slay the Spire? That game's fun. And I'm like, or we can get episode 100 of Persona out.
You guys want that? You want episode 100 of Persona, the most popular series?
According to my phone, it's also apparently going to be like the 1,000th video on my channel.
Oh, that's a nice little milestone.
Yeah. On the YouTube. Let me see here real quick. On the YouTube, like a app on the phone, it tells you how many videos there are, and it's like, it says for me 999.
Wow. And that's just a Zero Escape
I don't
series.
think that's correct, but that's what it says.
Please acknowledge my notary game.
Oh, what?
Joke.
I missed it.
I was saying, 999. Yeah, and that's just the Zero Escape series.
Why don't we put that up? Like for episode 1. 9 hours, 9 people, 9 doors.
That might be a decent one.
I don't think that's correct. I think that's like counting videos that are privated and stuff like that too, or something.
Oh yeah, probably.
Or maybe it's not, because there's no easy way to check that on YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
Well, anyway, we'll also probably talk about this in the Persona episode. So.
Time to close.
All right. Well, anyway, I killed so many more cultists. So many.
And so I did, until the runner you sent returned with news of his encounter with Aloy and your location.
I think you probably killed like 20, 30 in that one encounter, and then 20 or 30 in that last boss.
Killed more people than live in Nora Village like 10 times over.
Have a look around, see if I can figure out where the rest of the killers are.
Do as you wish. Everyone
Plus,
else
it's like, why do I kill about punishing these guys? They killed Bast. And I guess they also killed my dad, but they did kill Bast, so I think it kind of like, equals out. All right, dig site and so many more supply crates to find. By the way, throwing away all those wires earlier was not a great idea because they are used for like crafting up a lot of the important arrows that I've been using as of late.
Yeah, I can't imagine why wires would be important. Well, I guess arrows. I guess that is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I normally haven't been using a whole lot of. Like, we're reaching a new era of the Horizon episodes, 6 episodes in. A new horizon of the Horizon. Where I decide to use some more arrows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the rest of these series was, you were using it more?
Well, I mean, I had to, just straight up.
Yeah, I suppose.
There are some things that just, like, otherwise wouldn't really work. There was no reason to do that. I just did it anyway. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Over the
past month, accidental blaze explosions have killed 12 men. Here in the Ring of Metal, I've taken the precaution of placing our entire stockpile.
A Ring of Metal, and also this guy talks like this. This is how I'm speaking right now.
There's kind of this weird tension, and I'm not, I'm not going hardcore on this, but it is weird that we're doing audio logs from the present and the distant past, and they're completely separate. That is a little bit weird and hard to build on.
They got focuses. They got focusing.
I found something. The rest of the killers are
Is focusing a reference to that Simpsons episode where Bart takes Adderall?
Damn them.
No, I know it's a reference to like how the plural of fox is foxing.
Okay.
I will return to the
Plural of box is boxing.
Beg them to make an exception.
Plural of dox is doxing. Or
Blood
I don't know if
spilled
that's true.
calls for blood spilled. If the ground is cursed, then let our vengeance sanctify it.
I hate vengeance plotlines. Just once again.
Yeah. I mean, you saw, was that Aladdin Ghost of Tsushima too?
No. He was just protecting his home from an invading force.
Okay, yeah, I suppose. I mean, I was wondering about the side quest, but I suppose they probably
there are like 10 other series where I've had revenge plot lines, and I'm like, man, I hate revenge plot lines.
Yeah, the kind of things that, I mean, they only work in a very specific way. It's like, it's not a very interesting motivation at the end of the day. No offense.
Yeah, what I always say that it's like, it's more something for people that are watching your media to overcome, because it's such a petty thing to try and want. A moment of catharsis because somebody wronged you, even if they really wronged you.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta be like Count of Monte Cristo before I'm like, okay, like, you deserve this one.
The Count of Monte Cristo, like if you're doing that one, I mean that wasn't just that he was like overcoming it. It was also like he was going into this. He became a ridiculous different person with like all.
Oh yeah, he became a monster.
Yes, and that was like obviously that was like.
And not only that, he's also very clever about it too.
Yeah,
it's not just I'm going to go run in and kill everybody in this area.
Yeah, like I'm going to become the person who, screws over everyone who helped this happen, and possibly
Spectre of vengeance,
and kind of ruin their families. Like they shouldn't have had these families, so we're gonna undo time. I'm gonna be such an evil person. I'm going to undo the last 20 years of happiness.
Yeah, well, did you see what they did to him?
They did really screw him over. Yeah, it was not cool.
Yo, guys. Yoshido, not cool for tax fraud. Once again, referring to other series as they're happening. If you're watching this in the future, that made fucking no sense to you at all.
Yeah, that was a Persona 5. Again.
And there's Persona 5 100 episodes into the series.
Hey, maybe it does make a lot of sense. Maybe you're in the future, Persona 5 series is 5 times more popular than it's like your Dead Cells. It's your new... It's our new...
It is the 1000th episode on the channel. I don't know, maybe.
Or maybe not. Maybe.
I kind of hope. But, like, I also am realistic about it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
In your wildest dreams, I see that place, Silent Hill. No, in wildest dreams, sometimes think just like, man, what if it just really takes off?
That would be so wild. Like, didn't we have to do like the other Persona games?
And then we have to do Persona 3 and 4 just because it's like, well, we're the Persona guys, you know?
Yeah, you suddenly get like an.
We gotta go do Scramble because people are like, come on, dude, you gotta tell us everything that's wrong with Scramble.
You get like a sponsorship and you have to like transition from like, for a product that isn't completely disappointing and underwhelming.
Yeah, it's like we become the angry video game nerds for like overly long JRPGs.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, I don't know if I would want that.
Yeah.
But obviously what I would want is I would want people to be like, yes, this is a very helpful thing for learning Japanese.
In your wildest dreams, you want to have to play Persona to pay your debt.
No, I wanna translate Japanese games to pay my rent.
okay.
Is more of the thing, but
Okay. Yeah.
I also think that it's just like it has been a very interesting journey.
Yes.
Anyway, we're killing more cultists. Jesus Christ, so many cultists.
Well, they killed our, the Nora village that we.
Yeah, they killed our Bast.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's a good thing. They killed our dad. Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Not these guys though. That was Helios,
Well,
who's not here.
it'd be funny if they constantly referred to we have to avenge Bast, remember Bast, and then you're like, I kind of like.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, they're raising their spears up. More Bast!
Yeah.
He might still be alive for all I know.
Yeah, like,
And he's just like, we find him with an eye patch and like burned. And he's like, oh no, I'm fine.
to be honest, I want to know whether Bast is alive before I would save Nora. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna save
Just to make sure.
Yeah, like if he's still alive, I'm gonna be like, I'm doing this with the express intention that you expel Bast from the village.
That he becomes the outcast.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you can't do that.
Allow me to throw the first stone.
Isn't that kind of petty? Well, aren't you sending me on a revenge plot? I don't.
Well, motherfuckers, didn't you shun me for 16 years for not having a mother?
Yeah, now you come crawling back and you want Bast to be a revered member of the community. Look at his scar. He threw a rock at me. He never apologized for it. He actually doubled down.
Yeah, he doubled down, and then we saw him get shot and exploded, and he somehow survived?
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah. Honestly, if Bast is still alive, this village doesn't deserve to survive. Like, they should have killed him.
No, suffer not the Bast to live.
Yeah. I mean, like, these cultists, at least they believe in that cult. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a jerk.
Exactly. What does he believe in? Throwing rocks at little girls?
Yeah.
What do we believe in? Revenge?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, here's like an alarm. That's not how you disable it. Come on. And there.
The only way...
This is apparently something that you're supposed to like do when you're killing everybody in the bandit villages. I didn't. I completed all of them because, like I said, anyone that's just like a hey, go to this place and murder everything, it's quick.
Honestly, if Bast is still alive, the only thing that they could do to make him even like salvageable is if he kind of did the Ged thing from the Wizard of Earthsea, where he got deformed and horribly maimed, and he's a shadow of his former self. But he's realized that he was just such a dick, and he caused this whole problem himself with his
Well, I mean, if he was apologetic, I think that would also work too.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't it be?
He could also just that would also maybe be okay too. But once again, we have to filter everything through Persona 5. So
yeah. I'm just talking about.
I can't even imagine a plot line where that.
Well,
happens.
I'm just thinking that would be pretty badass, actually. Like,
if you turn into Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. There we go. Horizon Zero Dawn as good as Cyrano de Bergerac.
Or just like go the other way. Maybe Bast became like a
go the other way, which I believe is air raid vehicle by Limp Bizkit. The opposite.
No, I was actually thinking of like, yeah, like him becoming like.
That's culturally opposite. I declared it so.
Like if Bast became like an arch villain, that'd be really cool, actually.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, just a little nice.
At the same time, that would also be kind of contrived.
It would be contrived. Don't get me wrong. It would just be, yeah. Maybe it's in the side quests. Alas.
Maybe we can say that about everything. Yeah. Oh, I thought that was an ally, to be honest. Well, he's dead anyway. Because I've already hit like one dude with my speed, and yeah, I didn't notice that guy there either.
How do they determine the amount of damage that people get from fire? Is it like a complex thing, or is it just like these little...
It is like because one of the things that I got is like an increase, like it's like 50% extra to fire damage, which is why, well, that and the fact that these guys are 20 levels lower than me, which is why it's doing so much.
Because they're
never forget that.
They're getting a lot less damage than that Deathbringer, which makes sense as they're not Deathbringers.
Right. Some of them carry Deathbringer guns, but not these guys. Use that, that's an ally.
Well,
it's hard to tell.
Well, if it makes you feel better, they're an ally, but you missed.
True. No harm, no foul. Oh, okay. Well, roundhouse kick. Dealt with that, dude. Sure. Anything else? Because I swear I saw... There you are. No. Yes? No, that's an ally.
Gonna need this.
It's really hard to tell, though.
Also, I do want to... We're trying to avoid the Persona thing where we just criticize everything about a game. I really...
Also, we're trying to avoid talking about Persona, but I just love talking about Persona so much.
Yeah.
What can I say? I love that game. It's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, you were ranting about it at the board meeting yesterday.
Oh, come on.
Again.
There we go.
Yeah.
Before he floats away. Anyway. Wait, what were you gonna say?
Nothing. Just no, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Anyway, back to the tallest tower. I don't know what that is.
But yeah,
there's a tower around here.
I think, as I said in the second episode, they should call this game Zero Horizon because you never actually see the horizon.
And then I explicitly said that it's just like it is going to turn into dawn like in 5 seconds.
Yeah, and that is
like from like right now. Okay, maybe not from right now, but very quickly. Because there is a day-night cycle.
I don't mean the day-night cycle though. I mean just like the horizon. There's zero horizon. You can't see it.
Right now.
Okay.
I could go stand on tall things.
I'm sorry.
Aloy has the capability of that.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Aloy has stand on tall things ability.
Yeah.
The camps have been dealt with. Now to
they sure have.
Its high walls protect the enemy.
So is this all part of the revenge mission? Everything you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, I told you that every side quest is like 10 parts.
This place has a weakness. Send me in alone.
I don't think there's a ton of them in the game, but they're all pretty lengthy.
Successful?
That's why I was just like,
enough for the entire war party to charge
yeah. I don't know. I don't like that idea of blowing a hole in the weak spot of the walls. I don't think that'll work. Like, I don't think that's ever.
No, my idea is that I'm going to raise my spear in the air and run at them while yelling for Bast.
Yes, War Chief. I will.
And then I will hit them with fire arrows until they burn. To death? If they're lucky.
Was it Helm's Deep where they did that? Where they, they go into the Oryx blow up that, like, back door?
Yes. Oh. That was the speak friend and enter.
Okay, yeah.
An answer. Speak for dancer? Yeah, that one. That's what I talk like now.
I do, but how would you know that this base has a weakness?
Well, we definitely, like, with these, we run out of energy and we run out of verbal ability.
I seriously considered just cutting this stuff out because it is technically a side quest and it's 20 levels below.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, they really do make you do it as part of the main quest, though.
Yeah.
So.
And it really
might as well.
Yeah, it's really like it's one of those things where it doesn't improve your opinion of the game necessarily to have to do the side quest, right?
No. No, I said before I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I feel like that's basically what I'd say. Just like,
I think
if you're into this, it's probably very good. But actually, that was the same thing I said about Ghost of Tsushima. If you really think that if you are into like any sort of like the idea of being a samurai and enacting one man war on an invading force, it's like that's probably pretty cool. But I'm sort of like, so that's pretty good.
Can we figure out how to get along? Like the samurais seem like pretty developed administratively. Maybe we could figure out a way to deal with them. Like.
Khoten Khan was really into. I mean, he being the cousin of Genghis, it's like he had a mission, and he was not going to be distracted from that anyway.
Yeah, and I think just strategically, like going back to like that Mongol invasion, like I think the Mongols were very merciful when it was like, okay, join us or die. But it's also
so long to figure out where to go. Just ignore that.
Okay. But it's like, I mean, on some level, like Tsushima, my understanding is that's kind of like a base for invading Japan. Like that is really
that was like their forward operating base for invading the mainland.
Like you're not gonna make it easy, or I mean, like that is a really important place, and it's probably like they probably need to take it and by force. Yeah. So. And I guess I'm just
And thanks to the NPC guy, I figured out where I could jump up.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was so hard for me in that section.
Do you see those corruptors?
No.
Focus, Varl. That shelter is full of blaze.
Focus, Varl.
If I set it off, the explosion will destroy.
Anyway, I totally didn't pay attention to that.
A breach.
I totally was not focusing, by the way.
Can't hit it from here, though.
So here's another 20 minutes that I had to do this over and over because I wasn't really paying attention.
Tell Sona the plan and lead them to that side of the ring.
I'll see it done. And when the wall collapses, I'll be first through the breach.
Okay.
Now all I have to do is make it all happen.
Let's make it happen, baby! Again, this is after like 20 minutes of trying.
Okay.
As you can see, I totally wasn't paying attention to the fact that I have to blow up the blow-up area. And instead... This is so stupid.
Is this the rest of the
Hello, 27.
Is this the rest of the episode, basically?
Yes.
Okay. So you have not breached the wall yet?
All I have to do is blow up the base of explosives that are literally to my left right now. But I was not paying attention, like I said.
I mean,
kill the machine.
It is just Helm's Deep.
No, you might be asking, do cultists infinitely spawn here? Yes. They never stop.
You need to get some Benny Hill.
I was thinking that it's just like, hey, all I got to do is clear out all the cultists. There we go. And then I just shot that because I'm like, hey, there's a lot of exploding stuff in there.
Yeah, that is real, like, for me, that's like the WoW vibes, like, when I first started playing it. It's exactly that kind of thing where it's like, oh, you just actually have to tap the objective and you're done.
Finally.
Like, one of the things I did in one of my attempts was just fire on the characters as they were coming up like that hill, and there were like literally dozens and dozens and dozens of cultists dying there. And I'm just like, I can't believe there's so many of these guys here.
Yeah. This must be a really hard section.
Surely they must be running out at some point. It literally says in the upper left corner, shoot the blaze. And I'm just like, oh, I can't believe there's so many cultists in this area. Yeah. They're really expecting to fight hundreds of these guys? So yeah, that's maybe not my proudest moment, but whatever. Thankfully, cultists, like I said, any human enemies drop a lot of potions, so pretty easy to take them down. Pretty easy to stay in fights for a very long time with them.
So were you supposed to do this right after the bombing happened?
I guess.
Like, or right at, you know,
I don't know.
right after the assault?
Level 7, probably.
Because honestly, this would probably have made sense as like a first quest.
I mean, probably.
Like that would explain why, you know, the they're guiding you through like each step and having objectives and stuff. It's probably to teach you about the quest system.
No, that's really how all the side quests are.
Okay, fair.
That's just kind of how they are.
Yeah, okay, fair.
And we still gotta clean up the rest of them because, God, I haven't killed enough cultists today. Holy Christ. What the hell?
We haven't reached...
No, I can't go back in there either.
We haven't reached the preset kill limit on the corrupted, so you actually need to keep going.
Yo, for the last 2 Deathbringer fights, I do want to point out that they were both ended by me having to look around for the one guy that remained. Just a tip for developers. Don't make it so that you have to kill literally everything in the entire arena. Once you kill the big, huge death robot, then end the quest.
Have everything else fall, yeah.
Look upon our victory.
Everybody else run away or something. Whatever.
Remember this day, brave Nora.
From your lips to the goddess's ears. Yes.
Okay, we've avenged Bast. So these people disgust me. Didn't they like hate you because you didn't have a mom?
Let your spears and arrows rest in the bodies of the fallen. They are
anyway,
like these ruins.
We'll never see any of the Nora again, so
okay.
Doesn't matter. Revenge of the Nora, baby, we're done.
Hooray.
Oh, what is it, Silence? Oh, wait, right, main quest.
There's a campfire just south of the Ring of Metal.
Okay.
Go there and await.
Wait, why do I have to do that?
I was wondering when you'd show up.
You can just talk to me right now, you know.
The last time we spoke,
I remember. The ruins of Zero Dawn lie beneath Sunfall, the capital of the Shadow Karja.
Shadow Karja, etc.
If they see me, Hades will see me too.
Yep.
Focuses. And in a flash, there will be a whole.
So what are we gonna do?
Kill me. So can I crash the Eclipse Focus network or not?
yes, it can be done.
Great.
So you said, how?
Okay.
I'll send the location data.
Okay, thanks.
Great.
Be in touch when you're close.
Next time, we'll be crashing a network.
Kidding me again?
As one does in the post-apocalyptic
Now
future.
that we've avenged
Stand
Bast.
by for that.
Now that we've avenged Bast.